Evening, everybody. It is Coach LaRoe coming to you from beautiful Bozeman, Montana. Got a little bit of a sunset. She's pretty much already going down over the old tobacco roots back there. But absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous evening out walking the dogs. And I was mulling over some things, which I often do, as you guys have probably noticed when I'm out walking the dogs. And of course they're over here playing, just kind of enjoying themselves. Good old Zeus and Privyet. But I was looking at that, and that says the stages of water. What are we talking about there? You guys do hear me talk a whole lot about water, which obviously is very, very important. I mean, you know, we are made of 70% water, and you're always going to hear me say this, and I'm going to say this a lot, but you know, when people say, LaRoe, what's the number one thing for health, fitness? Well, health overall and fitness is going to come along with it, is drinking more of what you're made of, drinking more water. So obviously that is a big one right there. Now, if you ask me now, I'm going to say drink some more water and throw some ketones in it. That is the ultimate way to health and superior health. But as I was watching this pretty cool video last night a guy did on biohacking and changing your life and just excelling in yourself and supercharging yourself is essentially what it was. He talked about water, and obviously I talk a lot about water, and if I were to say, hey, what are the stages of water? You'd be able to say pretty simplistically, solid, snow, ice, liquid, you know, running water, or water, you know, liquid water, and steam, you know, the in-between stage, you know, from melting to steam or whatever. It's kind of ironic because my wife is actually in Yellowstone, well, just coming out of Yellowstone Park. Her and the ladies, they sent me a picture of the Grand Prismatic. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. But it had me thinking about that. Okay, so there's water in two major stages. It is obviously in your liquid stage, and the steam kind of floating off, especially in the wintertime. You really get to see that. And as cold as it was this morning, it was like 13 degrees in Yellowstone Park. So I think they saw some steam today. But there's a fourth one. There's a fourth element or a fourth stage to water that has really just come alive in the last decade or so. And it's actually what they call structured water. Well, I'd probably say about 15 years from what they were saying, but structured water. And what does that mean? Well, you know, water has a structure, but actually they're finding that living water or structured water has hexagonal, 6 sides, hexagonal structure to it. And it's actually, instead of being all scattered and like water's just all over here, it is actually very distinct and lined up. Like just almost like an engineer or an architect put these things together, right? So really cool. So where's structured water coming from? Well, I'm going to show you. It's just right over here. So this is what made me think about this. As I'm walking, you guys can probably all hear that water running, right? But this is what we call structured water. Water coming off of glaciers, water falling over a waterfall, water running in a stream, tumbling over rocks. And actually, I was taught this a little while back. I actually have, you know, Jamie and I have at our home, we have a water machine that not only knocks the chlorine and fluoride out of your water, but actually it lines it up, it structures the water, and they found that you have better absorption. They're actually calling it H3O2 instead of H2O. I make sure I get that right. H3O2, actually structured water. Well, how else do we get structured water? I mean, because a lot of people live in the big city, or they're not fortunate to live here in Montana and be able to actually drink out of a stream like this. The dogs are running around here. They've been drinking out of it. I don't have a problem drinking out of it because moving water is going to have a lot less issues. But most of our water is sitting in a tank or sitting in a storage tank, or it's been recycled within a city or a town, and it's picking up what's being put back into it. All the chlorine, the fluoride, the different chemicals from, you know, just all random prescription drugs, all of that literally are in our water, and people don't realize that. So I will say, fortunate to live in Bozeman and have, you know, water coming literally from the mountains right behind me, coming out of the highlights back up in there, and that's where all of our water comes from, Highlight Reservoir. So it's actually moving the whole time it gets here. But then I do run it through a filtration system and actually structure it even more so. But other structured ways to get it are actually fruits and vegetables. They're finding in fruits and vegetables that the water, you know, in which most fruits and vegetables are full of a lot of water, and they have that same structure in them. So eating fruits and vegetables is really good for us, right? If we can find natural spring water, as well as, you know, just moving water sources, you can actually, a couple little hacks that they had. One cool one is pour your water You know, preferably filtered, like I talked about, but pour it into a glass. Take a spoon and stir it and give it a vortex feel, or spin it into a vortex, and that'll actually help structure some of the water for you, right? So pretty cool in that respects. You can actually start to structure some of your water. If you do buy water, preferably get natural spring water. That way you know that it's gone through some of those phases, and you can actually get like a water machine like I have at my home. And there's a couple different companies out there that do those. But just type in structured water and you'll see some amazing studies on these Japanese studies, and they're taking all these snowflakes. Instead of being completely distorted and destroyed and crazy looking, they're literally really beautiful shaped and have those hexagonal, there you go, hexagonal or hexagonal, depending on where you live in the United States, right? They have those hexagonal shapes to them and all this amazing structure. And they're finding as you drink that water, it actually, you absorb more of it. It's absolutely some amazing stuff. So just want to throw that out there, is that, you know, I talk about how important water is all the time, and you guys know that. But if you can drink structured water, or something as simple as putting it in a glass, spinning it, and get that vortex going, and then drinking it, right? And so, kind of playing that, we got the dogs there. They're going to get themselves some hexagonal water. Watch that barbed wire, guys. There you go. Good boy, Zeusy. And they're going to get themselves some, you know, hexagonal water right now. And we'll have ourselves some fun. But I just want to throw that out there, water. I want to come from tips and tricks and hacks from Coach Thoreau to help you improve. Oh, just lost one in the water. There you go, beep, beep. You know, tips and tricks and hacks from Coach Thoreau, utilizing 23 years of natural nutrition and helping people out. But like I said, the number one tip and trick, drink water, preferably if you can, get structured or spin it, and definitely throw some ketones in it, because I will tell you what, that will change your life. So I want to thank everybody, many blessings, and have a wonderful evening. Take care.